Hey everybody, it's Scotty from Scotty's Record Shop with part 2 of my what I'm calling my June vinyl finds. Like I said in the last video, really these are records. Some of them have left over from um, from May. The first video I shot this morning, and I attempted to shoot the rest of it this morning, and the laptop battery died, and I had a bunch of other things I had to do. So here we are at the end of today, and I'm totally pooped. But we're gonna do these. It's probably gonna take two more videos. I'll try to keep it brief. A lot of stuff. By the way, again, as always, I want to thank everybody that subscribed. Over 150 people have subscribed, actually pushing almost 175 now, I think. And all the people that have viewed. I'm not so much into the numbers. It's not like woohoo, I'm somebody special because of that, but I still think it's really neat that that many people would take any interest whatsoever in what I'm doing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Also, well, I'll get to that actually in the next video because I checked the mail and something came in the mail. So, but first, let's get through some more stuff, okay? Um, this one I did not have on vinyl. Van Halen, Fair Warning, 1982. I had it on CD, had a cassette of it, but never vinyl for whatever reason. So there you go. That's in the collection now. This is an original pressing of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Damn the Torpedoes. The copy that I have in the wall back there is a mid-1980s pressing on MCA, on that sky blue label that they had in the 80s. And this is an original pressing with the original inner sleeve and everything. So, and it was in great shape, and it was $1, so I picked it up. And you hear my cat crying for attention. Please pay attention to me. Never mind with this silly vinyl community thing. So my daughter has run to his rescue. Okay, I had a copy of this from when I was a kid. I bought this back in probably '78 when it came out. These guys started out as a disco band and went country in the '80s, and were successful on both ends, actually. The band Exile. My copy of this was kind of tattered and torn. I found it for $1, and I said, hey, we'll throw that in the pile as well. So this next one is it's beaten up. The cover is really in tough shape, but Grand Funk, Plutomus Funk, and get a load of how the person was. This is not obviously the original inner sleeve. It's pretty bad. The vinyl looks playable. That's why I picked it up. But and it's a great record. It's just I'll eventually find an upgrade to this one for sure. But great one from Grand Funk. Another upgrade, Al Stewart. It's a great record. 1979 for this one. And like I said, I've got a copy of this that I've had for 30 years. And 25, whatever years. And it's time for a new copy. And there it is. $1 too. Original pressing. Okay. Some great boogie woogie from Brownsville Station. You can find any early Brownsville Station album. Highly recommend it. On Big Tree Records, subsidiary of Atlantic. This is the album that actually, probably their most successful album actually. 1973. Yeah, this is the album with Smoking in the Boys Room. But the albums that came out before that were great, and a couple that came out after were great as well. So if you can see them, this is actually my first one on vinyl. Got some stuff on CD by them, but don't see much Brownsville Station around here. At least not fairly priced. I picked that up for like $3, so it's a keeper. This one was in the dollar bin. I didn't have this on vinyl. A little bit of ring wear and stuff, but great album. Warren Zevon, Excitable Boy, 1978. His most successful commercially. Some would argue not his best album. This is my favorite album by him. This one in his first album. But I didn't have this on vinyl, and now I do. Thank you very much to the Record Connection. $1 whole dollar. Dollar well spent. Whenever I see records by these guys, I pick them up just because they're such a fun group. Funny. I don't know. It just makes me smile whenever I listen to one of these records. Sha-na-na. Sha-na-na is here to stay. Early 70s. Pressing. These guys picked up a couple of Sha-na-na albums, actually. But for $1 in great shape. This is the other one. More of a, I don't know what this was, like 76, 77 or something, without looking at it. But by the label I can tell it's mid-70s anyway. Sha-na-na, this is atypical Sha-na-na, them remaking 50s music, you know, that's what they were about. And it's just fun stuff to listen to. Okay. Couple of albums from Pablo Cruz. The only two that I really were missing that I wanted. Pablo Cruz being a group, pop rock group from San Francisco, I think, the Bay Area, on A&M Records. Their first album, which commercially wasn't all that successful, but it was a really good record. But it's Holding Out. I wanted to get a copy of this, but I didn't want to pay a lot, and so it showed up eventually at the Record Connection for $1, so I grabbed it. Their last album that I'm probably going to probably pick up by them, I think there might have been a couple more after this, but Reflector. 81, 82-ish for this one? Something like that. But I've got all the albums now. Place in the Sun, all those. I have all those now finally. And I paid $1 for all of them, and they're all in great shape. I like that when that happens. I wish I could find the rest of the albums. I'm looking by this guy for $1, but Steve Miller Band. This is one of the early ones I was looking for. I paid $1 for it. Got ring wear, you know. It's a little beaten up, the cover. But you know what? It was $1. It's original pressing. The vinyl's in good shape. I have no idea why Bob put that upstairs. You know, these go usually for a little more than $1. So thank you very much again. But there are a handful of other Steve Miller Band albums that I'm looking for. Really like Steve Miller Band. This one, I don't really need to say anything about this one. What do I really need to say? The Doors. One thing I can say is I didn't have a copy of this. I never had. It's eluded me for years. I didn't want to pay a lot for it. I ended up paying like $7 for this. It's an early 70s pressing. I'm not positive it's a first pressing, and this came out in 70, I believe. So I'm not sure if this was on that original pinkish, reddish, I guess would be the color, Electra label or not, or if it was on the Butterfly label. This is an early, dark Butterfly label, so it's early 70s. So it's good enough for me. Great shape. Finally got that in the collection. This was one in the $1 section as well, and I haven't listened to it yet. Obviously, I know the song, know the movie, Chariots of Fire, Vangelis, however you want to pronounce it. I haven't listened to this yet, so I have no idea if it's if the version of that, you know, of this particular Chariots of Fire song is an elongated version or not. I got to get to it. I just haven't had time. But I wanted it. I kind of dug the sound of that. So I figured if I like that, the single, which I have the single, if I like the single, the odds are good I'd like the rest of the album. Loverboy, their second record. What was it? Get Lucky, right? Yeah. Yep, Get Lucky. This was a dollar bin deal. I'd lost I had like the first 4 Loverboy albums, and they were damaged in that situation that I talk about repeatedly, which I'm not going to get into again, about mold and storage and stuff. So getting them back one by one. I'm not going to pay more than $1 or $2 for them, because they're fun listens, but you know, I mean, you shouldn't pay more than a couple $bucks for a Loverboy album. So, and that one I paid $1 for. So an upgrade for this is going to be a Frankenstein. I know the vinyl's in better shape. This album, but the covers, you know, got the stickers and stuff, but my other cover's in great shape. So we're just going to do a switcheroo with the record, and we'll have a nice package all the way around. John Miles. If you like Alan Parsons Project type production stuff, for those of you in the UK would remember the band Pilot. Probably more than the people here in America. They only had one hit in America, but they were a really well-produced band by Alan Parsons. Alan Parsons produced this album. This is a fantastic record, Rubble. If you're looking for some mid-70s, well-produced pop rock, Alan Parsons-ish kind of stuff, this would be one you'd want to look for. Okay, Rubble, John Miles. These are upgrades. Primarily because of the covers. I think that the vinyl probably may be in about the same shape as mine, but the covers are in a little better shape, and it's $1. So I picked it up. Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. I love this album. And Same deal with this one, Book of Dreams. My cover is a little torn and worn. Vinyl's in good shape, but we'll put the vinyl side by side and see which one I keep. But this is worth it just for the cover. What a beautiful Pegasus on the cover. What a beautiful album cover. 1977. These are like two albums that just go together. Fly Like an Eagle and Book of Dreams. I remember when they came out in 76 and 77. We got them on A-Track right away. It was wonderful. I know. Blah, 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 blah. I'm rambling on. Almost done with this first video. This first batch. Mamas and the Papas. This was in the dollar bin. The year that I was born, 1966. Yay. Great record, too. And in really good shape, too. Original pressing in stereo. So, for $1, I'll take it. Thank you very much. This one, surprised that I found this one for $1. Only because ever since Michael Jackson passed away, the value of his records have gone right through the roof. And whether they were good records or not. This was a good record. And I just figured I saw it in there for $1 bin. I'm not going to pay. I mean, I'm looking for all the early Jackson 5 albums, I'll be honest with you. I'm on the hunt for them. But I'm not going to pay a lot for them. I'm not paying 10 or 15 bucks for a Jackson 5 album. It's just, you know, as good as they were, it's just not, I don't know why. Just can't bring myself to it. This one, I always see for like $5 or $6 or whatever, and I'm like, I'm going to hold out because I know it's going to show up eventually. And it did. It was in good shape, original inner sleeve and everything. 1979. To me, this is just as good as Thriller. This one was just as good. So let's do a couple more here. Yeah, a couple more, and then I'll spare you. Okay, this is an upgrade. I'll tell you, me and Mr. Mayo had his contest not too long ago. One of the prizes was this record. And I have a copy of this, but it's an original pressing, but it's beaten up. I've played that thing to death. And it didn't have the poster in it either. I don't know why. My copy, when I bought it, knew it didn't have a poster. Weird. I saw this one. I was hoping, man, I wanted that copy. And I didn't win it. And it's all right. Life goes on. But so the next time I went to my record store, I was like, he's got to have a copy of this. And I paid like $5 for it. It was, maybe I paid too much. I don't know. It's in mint shape. It's really great shape. And it has the poster. So I've got an upgrade copy of London Town now. Great record. Well, actually, I say great record. It's got some great songs on it. That's not a great record. Sorry, Paul. It's got some great stuff on it. My personal opinion. Looking for more records by this guy, Joe Jackson. I mean, he started out kind of in a punky vein. I guess. I don't even know how you look sharp and all that stuff. But this record isn't punky. It's just slick, and I'm waiting for it to turn out. I wanted to get it, and showed up for $1. On the hunt for some more Joe Jackson as well. I've only got this is the third one I think that I have from him. So, in the hunt for some more Joe Jackson. One more, okay? Upgrade copy, only because it's an original pressing. James Taylor's Greatest Hits. 1976, I believe this was, 76 or 77. It's a summary of all of his Warner Brothers stuff. When he went over to Columbia, they kind of went, oh, okay, well, we're going to pump out a Greatest Hits package and make some more money off your butt. This has got the original inner sleeve and all that. That was the main reason I picked it up. It was $1, so why not? Okay. I've talked too long. Again, I thank you so much for putting up with me for another 15-minute video. I'm sure that the Volume 3 or 3rd edition of Vinyl Finds for June is probably going to be equally as long, but I truly appreciate you guys watching it. I can't say it enough. So until next time, everybody, peace and love.